The overthinking spiral. You're sitting on your couch, phone in hand, staring at a text you sent 3 hours ago. It's still unanswered. Your mind is racing. Did I say something wrong? Was I too forward? Too boring? You reread your message a dozen times, analyzing every word, every emoji, wondering if you've ruined everything. Or maybe it's not a text. Maybe you're replaying a date in your head. The way you laughed too loudly at their joke, or stumbled over your words when they asked about your job. You were trying so hard to be likable, to be enough, that you left feeling like you lost a piece of yourself. Sound familiar? That sinking feeling, that spiral of self-doubt, it's what happens when you're outsourcing your confidence to someone else's approval. You're not alone in this. So many of us have been there, caught in the trap of believing that love requires us to perform, to shrink, to twist ourselves into someone else's idea of perfect. But here's the truth. Real confidence in love isn't about being the coolest person in the room or never feeling nervous. It's about being grounded in who you are, even when your heart's on the line. It's about trusting yourself no matter what they text back or don't. If you've ever felt like you lose yourself in love, like you're constantly chasing someone's validation, this is for you. I'm going to show you what real confidence looks like in dating, not the fake polished kind, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from within. And I'll give you the tools to build it step by step so you can stop spiraling and start showing up as the incredible person you already are. Let me tell you about Rachel. She was 30, a graphic designer with a sharp wit and a warm smile that could light up a room. But when it came to dating, Rachel felt like she was always auditioning for a role she'd never get. She came to me for coaching after a string of dates that left her exhausted. I don't know what's wrong with me, she said, her voice tinged with frustration. I'm confident at work, with friends, but the second I'm on a date, I turn into this nervous, people-pleasing version of myself. I'm terrified they won't like me. Rachel's last date was with Ben, a charming finance guy she met online. The date started well, good conversation, a few laughs, a spark. But as the night went on, Rachel found herself overthinking everything. She laughed harder at his jokes than she meant to, agreed with opinions she didn't share, and avoided mentioning her quirky love for sci-fi novels because she worried he'd think she was weird. When he didn't text her the next day, she spent hours dissecting the date, wondering if she'd been too much or not enough. I just wanted him to like me, she said, but I ended up not even liking myself. Before Ben, there was Sam, who ghosted her after 3 dates. And before Sam, there was Jake, who seemed perfect until he pulled away when Rachel started being more herself. Each time she blamed herself, thinking if she could just be funnier, prettier, or less needy, they'd stick around. I feel like I'm constantly shape-shifting to fit what they want, she told me. And I'm so tired of it. Rachel's story was still unfolding. She was starting to see the pattern, but hadn't yet broken it. Her struggle was a mirror for anyone who's ever lost themselves in the pursuit of love. She wasn't lacking confidence. She was looking for it in the wrong place, outside herself. Let's redefine confidence, because most of us have it wrong. We think confidence in love means being suave, never getting nervous, or always knowing the perfect thing to say. That's not confidence, that's performance. Real confidence is about being grounded in who you are, no matter what's happening around you. It's knowing your worth doesn't depend on whether they text you back, whether they laugh at your jokes, or whether they choose you. It's trusting that you are enough, exactly as you are, even when your heart is racing and your palms are sweaty. Why do we lose ourselves in love? It often goes back to how we were taught to seek approval. Maybe you grew up in a home where love felt conditional. You had to be good or successful to earn it. Or maybe past relationships taught you that being yourself wasn't enough. So you learned to perform, to adapt, to hide parts of who you are. Psychologically, this ties to attachment theory. If you have an anxious attachment style, you might crave closeness but fear rejection, so you overcompensate by trying to be what you think they want. If you're avoidant, you might hold back your true self to protect yourself from getting hurt. Either way, you're outsourcing your confidence to someone else's response. Here's a metaphor. Think of your confidence like a house. When it's built on someone else's approval, it's like a house on sand. Every wave, a missed text, a lukewarm date threatens to knock it down. But when your confidence is built on your own values, your own truth, it's like a house on solid ground. Storms can come, but you're still standing. Real confidence in love means building that house on your own foundation, not someone else's. The good news, confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. It's a muscle, and every small act of self-trust strengthens it. You don't need to be fearless or flawless. You just need to start showing up as yourself, one brave moment at a time. Building real confidence in love isn't about changing who you are. It's about owning it. Here are practical tools to help you stop outsourcing your worth and start grounding yourself in self-trust. 1. Reframe rejection as redirection. The fear of rejection is what fuels the overthinking spiral. You worry that if they don't like you, it means you're not enough. But rejection isn't a verdict on your worth. It's just information. Maybe they're not ready for a relationship, or they're looking for something different. That's not about you, it's about them. Try this reframe. If someone doesn't choose me, they're redirecting me towards someone who will. Next time you don't get a text back, say to yourself, this isn't a rejection of me. It's a sign they're not my person. It shifts the power back to you. 2. Anchor in your core values. Your confidence needs a foundation, and that foundation is your values, what matters most to you. Are you kind, curious, creative, loyal? Write down your top 5 values and remind yourself of them before a date or a tough conversation. For example, if kindness is your value, you don't need to be the wittiest person in the room. You just need to show up with a kind heart. When you're clear on your values, you stop measuring yourself by someone else's yardstick. Try this. Before a date, write a 1-sentence reminder. I am enough because I am your value, and that's what I bring to the table. Practice in small moments. Confidence grows through action, not perfection. Start practicing in low-stakes situations to build your self-trust muscle. For example, not texting. If you're tempted to overanalyze a message before sending it, pause. Ask yourself, what would I say if I wasn't afraid of their response? Send that. If they don't reply, don't spiral. Remind yourself your worth isn't in their response. On a date, share something authentic about yourself, even if it feels risky. Maybe it's your love for cheesy rom-coms or your quirky hobby. Say, I know this might sound nerdy, but I'm really into X. What's something you're passionate about? It shows you're not hiding, and it invites connection. Saying no. Practice saying no to something small, like a plan that doesn't excite you. Try, thanks for the invite, but I'm going to pass this time. Let's catch up soon. It's kind, clear, and builds your confidence in setting boundaries. 4. Stop the overthinking spiral. When you catch yourself spiraling, replaying a date, obsessing over a text, interrupt the cycle. Try this technique. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. It grounds you in the present moment. Then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to feel good about myself? Maybe it's calling a friend, going for a walk, or writing in a journal. You're redirecting your energy back to you. 5. Create a confidence ritual. Build a pre-date or pre-conversation ritual to center yourself. It could be listening to a song that makes you feel unstoppable, writing down 3 things you love about yourself, or taking 5 deep breaths while saying, I am enough. Rachel from our story started wearing a small bracelet that reminded her of her strength. Find something that anchors you in your worth. Scripts for confident moments. Here are a few scripts to use in dating situations to practice showing up authentically. When you're nervous on a date, I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I'm really excited to be here and get to know you. This owns your feelings without apologizing for them. When you disagree, I see where you're coming from, but I actually feel differently. Here's why. This shows confidence in your perspective while keeping the conversation open. When they pull away, if someone's being distant, don't chase. Say, I've noticed you've been super quiet lately. I'm here if you want to talk, but I'm going to give you some space. This sets a boundary while staying kind. These tools aren't about becoming someone else. They're about becoming more of you. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, you're building confidence that no one can take away. Stop outsourcing your value to others. Here's the heart of it. You've been giving other people the power to define your worth. Every unanswered text, every lukewarm date, every moment of rejection, it feels like a judgment on who you are. But it's not. Your value isn't in their hands, it's in yours. The challenge is to stop outsourcing your confidence and start owning it. Try this exercise. Write down 3 moments in your life when you felt truly proud of yourself. Not because someone else approved, but because you showed up as you. Maybe it was finishing a project, helping a friend, or standing up for what you believe in. Next to each moment, write 1 word that describes the quality you showed: courage, kindness, resilience. These are your anchors. When you're tempted to seek validation from someone else, come back to these moments. They're proof you're enough, no matter what anyone else thinks. Now set a boundary in your dating life. It could be as simple as not texting back immediately to someone who's been inconsistent, or saying no to a second date with someone who doesn't respect your time. Each time you honor yourself, you're telling the world and yourself that your worth isn't up for negotiation. Take a moment to breathe this in. You don't have to perform to be loved. You don't have to shrink, twist, or overthink to be enough. Real confidence in love comes from trusting yourself. Trusting that you are worthy, that your needs matter, that your authentic self is more than enough. When you build that trust, you stop losing yourself in love and start showing up as the incredible person you are. Imagine a version of you who walks into a date knowing your worth, who doesn't spiral over an unanswered text, who says what you mean without fear of rejection. That version of you isn't a fantasy. She's already inside you, waiting for you to let her shine. Every time you choose yourself, your values, your truth, your boundaries, you're building the confidence to love without losing yourself. So here's your call to action. Today, do one thing that feels like self-trust. Maybe it's sending a text without overanalyzing it. Maybe it's sharing something real on a date, even if it feels scary. Maybe it's walking away from someone who doesn't see your value. Whatever it is, do it with this truth in your heart. Confident love starts with trusting yourself. You are enough. You always have been. Now go show the world